set up a webinar registration through either Demio or WebinarJam. Right now, I have both of them connected. If we go in here to BotSparks and then we click on Demio webinars, we'll see I've got a few that I've already set up, but let's go ahead and create a new one just for you to see. So what we're going to do is what happens is we make a call to Demio and find all the webinars that you've already created. And we also have a call to ManyChat to see what custom fields you have. So let's go ahead and name this test webinar. And then we're going to select the BotSparks webinar demo. And then it shows we've got a webinar date of 12/1. So we've got that one far away. And then what we need to do next is select our ManyChat email field. So since these all require you to have an email, you need to send us an email. Otherwise, these people won't get registered. So whatever field you use in ManyChat to store that email, or at least specifically for this webinar, is what we need to know. So what we're going to do is we're going to click create, and then we're going to, hey, all right, success. Now what we've been given here is a link that we need to do. So let's copy this, and then I'm going to go over to let's go ahead and ManyChat here, and this flow is what we've got. This is a simple demo flow. I've given access. I've created this as a template, so it's easy to use and see. But basically, we just get the email, and then we have a webinar. So we've got an external request in the action block. So what we're doing is we're going through, and we need to paste our Demio link. So what this will do is this specific link here is tied to that webinar that we just created. In other videos, I've shown how to set up the request calls for BotSparks, but we just need to make sure that you've got the full subscriber data in the body, and then you can run a test request, and it'll register that, and then it'll return. Demio returns just a small bit of data, so we just need to make sure that we map that so that JSON path, which would be for Demio, it's join link, and then we want to map that to a custom field, so that way we can send out the webinar registration details in Messenger as well. Now, the WebinarJam returns a little bit of different data. So if I go over here to WebinarJam, I'm going to show you, oops, let's go ahead and edit. So our response mapping is going to be a little different. So and they've got a few different ones. So if we test this request, I'll show you here. So what it does is it actually returns the full data regarding the user. So the webinar ID, the user ID that's been given by WebinarJam. And then, of course, they send you back the email and name, as well as the date and time for the webinar, which we already know. And then they send stuff back as live room URL and replay room URL. So if you want to store the replay room and a response, let's go ahead and add that. So it's going to be a user dot replay room URL, and then I'll just store that as a test, and then we save it, and that is it. Now you're able to run your campaigns and webinar registrations either with Demio or WebinarJam in Messenger.